We're rolling.
Hello, my name is Elle, and I'm here to teach you about math. In specifics, factoring.
We're rolling.
Hello, my name is Emily, and we're going to talk about math.
This is good.
Okay, my name is Alex, and today we're going to be talking about math, specifically factoring. If you have any questions, feel free. Actually, never mind. Okay, so we're going to start with the same equation.
And we are rolling.
Hey! Okay, this is take two. We're starting with the same equation of k squared minus 10k. So then, basically, what you're going to do from there is you're going to go like this, get the k alone, the k, and then the 10. And then from there, the k will go into both of these, which makes that k squared, and that makes that 10k. So basically, to get from this down to this, it's all about simplification. Okay, does that make sense? If that doesn't make any more sense, I'm going to do another one. Okay, so again, we're following this format. And then basically, what you want to think of,
Write down the problem.
okay, so the next problem we're doing is x squared minus x. And then, even though you can't see it, there's a coefficient of 1. So then, again, you're going to put an x on the outside, and then a 1 on the inside, so then it multiplies to go like this. So then you get x squared minus 1x.
So what you're doing here, what you're doing is you're just
Simplifying, Ellie. Simplifying.
And you simplify.
It's like the circle of life. You start off here, and then you come down to here,
Yes, they're fun, and we're doing good.
and then you go right back up to there.
Great.
And that was Alex teaching us the basic
This is the basics of
factoring. All right. And
signing off. Hey.
And we're rolling.
All right, so
Take two.
Okay, so right here, this is the problem we're dealing with. I didn't mean to cross it out. I'll rewrite it. So it's 30p squared minus 390p. And you know, this is right off the packet, so this is golden. Anyway, so then you have A right here, and then you also have a B. And the A is always squared, and then this time you're getting a little wild and crazy, so you have actual real-life numbers. So what you're... And as you can see, there literally is a C missing. That's funny. Okay. Okay, so no C in this one, but you know, as you look on the later problems, you'll have a C. So
See, that the 45 would be in the C.
I feel like we're just getting too ahead. Like I feel like I've only known you for a little bit, and I feel like we're just taking. Let's slow down. Let's not go fast.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways,
I mean, I just feel like
I feel like I've known you my.
beginning of time.
I've
and
known you my
just
whole life.
old soul, and I can't control myself.
Okay.
Back to the problem.
Back to the problem.
We said
So
the same
eyes up
thing.
here. Eyes up here.
Okay.
So for
Beautiful blue eyes you have.
thanks. That's what my mom always tells me. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to find common factor. I like to call this the CF, the CFs of CEOs. So what you're gonna want to do? You're gonna grab what I like to call the calc, and you're gonna turn it on. And you're just gonna go out on a limb here, and you're just gonna take a wild guess that 30 can go to 390. And as soon as you enter that in, you're right. Holy smokes. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to want to go back to the format of the full circle of life, if you know what I'm saying. So right here, you are going to put 30p on the outside, and then you're going to put p, because p times p equals p squared. And then you're going to put 13, because focus please. It's okay, because 30p times 13, it equals 390p. And then if you put those two together, you get 30p squared minus 390p. Like I said, folks, full circle of life. And eyes up here, please. Eyes up here. If you're ever unsure about a problem, Just plug it back in. Thank you. I'll turn the time over to Elle for factoring 2.0 and 2.0 and 2.1. And we're rolling.
Hello, my name is Elle, and I'm going to be teaching you Factoring 2.0. Factoring 2.0 is a little more complex than Factoring 1.0, as you can see, because 1.0 and 2.0, 2.0 is definitely the higher up one. So we're going to take a little leap of faith and, jump right on into this. So follow me. So here I have down the problem. As you can see, it's called Factoring 2.0. And there is one method to do this with a simpler equation, and then there's also a harder equation to do with a harder equation, I guess. So anyway, back down to the problem, please. Thank you. Okay, so here we have n squared plus 7n minus 44. So as Alex taught you last video, we have our c, our b, and our a. And if you want to put that grammatically, it's going to be a, b, and c. So First, we're going to take these out, and so we're going to say, okay, what's our b? Our b is 7. You can leave out the coefficient for now, but our b is 7, okay? And so our c is 44. So, you see, 44. Now, you're going to make a little x. And then the x, this is always the way to set up your x. The top is going to be the b, and then the bottom is going to be the c. C times A. Okay, and as you can see, I didn't include the A on this one because this is one of the simpler problems and n is just 1. It's the coefficient of 1. So it doesn't really you don't really have to times 44 by 1. So let's put our x down here, and I'm going to do the b first. The b is 7, and 1 times 44 is, 44. So then you're going to try to find 2 sets of numbers to go on each side of this that technical difficulties, give us 1 second.
Let's multiply. You multiply the top one. No, the bottom one. It's right there. Multiply bottom, and then you add the top.
Okay. So you're going to find 2 sets of numbers that multiply to be the bottom number, which is b times c times a. So you need to find 2 numbers that multiply to be the bottom number and also add to be the top number. So let's think about this really fast. Where's my calc? Great, thank you, Emily. All right, so let's see here. Now what goes into 44? Well, let's think about this. 44 times divided by 11 is 11 and 4. Now, if I'm correct, let's think here. 11 minus 4 equals 7. So, and 11 times 4 equals 44. So, okay, so we're going to do -4 and positive 11 because, well, actually this is -44 because as you can see in the equation up here, it's -44. But,
No,
11...
Wait, can you say something?
All right, so as you can see, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I mean, my camera's not charging, my phone's being really rude to me. So I just want to say that I did make a little mistake right here, but you learn from your mistakes. And it's good to make mistakes because then, guess what? You realize the truth. Okay, back to the problem. Okay, so as I was saying, -4 and 11 equivalent to -44 when they are multiplied, okay? -4 and 11 also equal 7 when they are, combined. So, after you know that, then you put it in the equation. So you use this one and this one. So you go
n, not x, because our coefficient is actually n this time. So we'll go n minus 4, put a parentheses around that one, times n plus 11. And there you have it. That's the end of this simple equation factoring 2.0. And if you want to let things get a little, frisky, you can stay on and wait for factoring 2.1.
Heck yeah.
All right, I need to get on to factoring 2.1 now.
Rolling.
All right, and this is going to be factoring 2.1. Like I said, this one is a little more complex, but please just try your hardest to understand. Okay, so down on paper now. And I'm just going to write this here again, factoring 2.1.
That's its factor. Not factoring.
Factor 2.1 is a different form of factoring. Doesn't mean I'm doing it. It's just how you do it. You factor 2.1. Okay. No, I will be factoring shortly.
Okay.
All right, and now we're going to be factoring 2.1. So, we're going to start with this problem. And, all right, so let me just write this down. It's going to be 5x squared plus 44x. Oh, I am so hungry. Minus 9. So, as Alex told you in factoring 1.0, this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. So, this one we're going to start with the x, just like I showed you in factoring 2.0, and we're going to put our B on top, which is 44, and A times C on bottom. So it's going to be 5 times negative 9. So that's negative 45. All right, and then we need two numbers that multiply to be negative 45 and add to be 44. So those two numbers, let me think about this. Let me grab my calc. Okay. And as you can see, I got the calculations. So it's actually going to be 45 and negative 1, because you can see that 45 minus 1 is 44, and 45 times negative 1 is negative 45. All right, so then actually that isn't the rest of it. You're going to have to keep going with this. So you take your 45 and your negative 1, and then you go back to the real A and C, and you're going to circle 5x squared and down on the paper and negative 9. So now you're going to make a box. Big good box. Okay. So then you're going to put the first A, which is 5x squared, in this box. The real C, which is negative 9. And then the altered from the x equation. Great, so it's going to be 45 and negative 1. And it doesn't matter which box you put these ones in, because we're about to do something that just, you don't need to worry about that. But although 5x and negative 9 need to be in their boxes. So now you need to find the common factor out of these two. So, and also you have to add the x for the ones that you have factored in the x. You have to add the coefficient. So, that was the fire alarm. Okay, so out of negative 1 and negative 9, it's negative 1. So the negative 1 goes into negative 1 and negative 9. So what goes into negative 1x and negative 9, or whatever. So what goes into 5x and negative 1x? It's going to be x. Yeah, x. All right. So what goes into 5x squared and 45x? It's also going to be 5x. And then this one, what goes into 45x and negative 9? It's going to be 9. So that leaves us with our equation. And so we put our parentheses in, and you just do the first layer. Doesn't matter which one you do. 5x minus 1 and x plus 9. And there you have it. That is how you solve a factoring 2.1 problem. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Okay, so today we're going to do factoring 3.0. Yes. And we're first going to start out with an example. 4v cubed minus 20v squared minus 3v plus 15. So first what you're going to do is you're going to separate the two problems because there's 4 parts. Okay. Then. Hi. Hi, Austin. Hi. See ya. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is what can you do to factor 4v cubed and negative 20v cubed out is to find, you need to find the common factor. Okay. So, the common factor of 4v cubed is 4v squared, and then negative 20v squared is v minus 5. Now we're going to move on to this next portion of the problem, which is factoring negative 3v, which is negative 3, and then v minus 5. So, next part of the problem we're going to...
Ruben, did you see that, Ruben? Ruben? Okay, alright.
Okay. And then we're going to take the 4v squared and the negative 3 as 4v cubed minus 3. And that's going to be our first parentheses. The second parentheses is going to be our v negative 5. As you can see, we got that from both of these. So, that is how you factor from 4 given parts. Factoring 3.0.
Heck yeah. This would be funny.
Ellie, stop! Would you just would be funny, okay?
Dang it. Okay, let's go. Well, actually this is negative 44 because as you can see in the equation up here, it's minus 44.
If you're ever unsure about a problem, just plug it back in. Thank you. You want to keep things slow. You don't want to go too crazy.
That's a little too much.
Sorry. Okay. Stick to the count.
Stick to the count.
Ready?